Russia has signed a $165 billion deal with China. Under it, 80 bilateral projects like oil pipelines and commercial corridors are planned. That is, the two countries are developing a deep friendship with each other, and it is changing the geopolitics of Eurasia. In 1997, Russia and China decided to build a multipolar world, where there would be no single hegemony of the United States or anyone else. But the time was the monopoly of the United States, so China and Russia have been focused on their own development until now. China has long been preoccupied with export-dependent manufacturing, and Russia has benefited from exporting its natural resources, especially fuel oil, gas, coal to Europe. Many pipelines have been built to supply natural gas. In the next 10 years from 2011, half of Europe's gas needs came from Russia. 2/5 of the country's national income comes from gas exports to Europe. But this energy-based Russia-Europe relationship has recently been strained by the Ukraine issue. Now Russia has to turn away from Europe and look towards China. The annual trade between the two countries is planned to reach $200 billion by 2024. 7 million tons of Russian grain goes to China every year. China's dependence on US and Australian grain will decrease. China will export automobiles to Russia. Both countries will work together on aircraft and science projects. Their energy policy will determine the true face of China-Russia relations. Gazprom and CIPC jointly built the Power of Siberia pipeline, through which Russian gas is going to Shanghai via Beijing. Construction of the Power of Siberia 2 pipeline to bring gas from the Yamal Peninsula to China via Mongolia will begin in 2024. In 2030, Russia's gas supply to China will reach 98 billion cubic meters. There will be 100 million tons of LNG. Russia and China have a long-standing plan for de-dollarization. Russian fuel purchase price is paid in yuan. In late 2022, the ruble-yuan trade is looking to bring Saturn to the fore of the dollar. Chinese exports are also increasing in Central Asian countries known as Russian sphere of influence. Investments in mining, energy, and railways are increasing. Chinese President Xi Jinping presented a regional development plan to the presidents of 5 Central Asian countries. China's interest in trade, investment, tourism, and cultural exchange. There is also security cooperation. China wants to build a gas pipeline through here to the Caspian Sea. China's trade with Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan has exceeded $100 billion. Everything is happening with the consent of Russia. As a result of global warming, there will be no more ice at the North Pole by 2050. It will then be easier to extract the valuable minerals there. China wants to divide the North Pole through Greenland. The United States is creating various obstacles in this. In this situation, China will need Russia to dominate there, even if it is not a polar adjacent country. Here too they are side by side like friends.